Good evening, everybody, and welcome back for another round of Contest Speed AM2 round 10 here at Imola. This is a wonderful track, but also a track that brings me a lot of sad thoughts, especially since I lately have been watching a lot of those documentaries and like some of those like TV show episodes about art and Senna. So a somber yet exciting evening. DK, do you have any thoughts?
Man, you just brought down the mood.
I did bring down the mood, but I can't help it. I can't help it.
respect, respect to the late great Ayrton Senna, the best Formula One driver there is. But good evening, everybody. Thoughts on my track or on this track here? Very historic track, very old. One of those ones you got to be very on point with your driving inputs and everything. Me personally, I don't like driving this track. Probably, not the most popular opinion, but nonetheless, it's always seems like to be an exciting track for league racing. Only really one big overtaking opportunity down the main straight. Very long DRS zone, so look for that. Getting reports on rain during the race tonight, so it's gonna be an interesting one.
Yes, and also I want to point out not just Art and Senna, but Ratzenberger. Got respect for Ratzenberger as well.
Yep. The forgotten one.
Yes. But I do love this track, though. I think it's a very enjoyable track to drive. On contrary to your opinion, it is. Although it is kind of annoying in some sense for like overtaking, it is very difficult. I'd say to overtake through most of the track. You're really just looking at like turn one, and then what is that? With that second set of chicanes, I'm gonna pull up the track map. I need to figure out what that corner is called. I should know what it is, but it is escaping me right now.
Well, while you're figuring that out, I am on board with Hysteria. First car of the night, coming to complete a lap, rounding the final corner, and heading for the line.
It's Villeneuve corner. And then the first chicane is Tamburello. Can't believe I forgot about that one.
Yes, how dare you.
Everyone knows Aqua Minerale, I would assume. Let me actually screenshot this so I can remember that. There we go. Oh, Ravazza. Ravazza? That would be like the last two corners.
Okay.
I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I'm assuming two Z's doubled up in Italian. It kind of has like a zot, like,
Yep. Like pizza. Za.
Pizza.
Pizza. Pizza.
But, anyways, DK, last week, obviously, for those that tune in regularly, I was not here, so, was there any big surprises last week I should know about?
Last week, kind of, if you didn't catch it, I did stream last week's race on my personal YouTube channel, as we had some unfortunate mechanical difficulties with your car. But but nonetheless, kind of a nonchalant race, like typical runners up front. It was a Ferrari 1-2. I honestly forget which one came out on top. But they had it. It was a dominated race by them. I know they were like switching positions every lap down the main straight. It's just defending P1 amongst the Ferrari boys. Nothing Bandu or Inception behind could have done that whole race. So it was a fairly dominated race by Ferrari. Nothing too crazy.
And then I'll go over the Drivers' Championship real quick. After last week's results, we got Fragley retaking the throne. I don't think Drag King was there last week, so Fragley's got 136.5 points to Drag King's 129. So math is escaping me. That's a 7.5 point difference. And then Serrazzle, not terribly far behind, but still a whole race of points behind. 109 points, and Bandu with 100. So they got a very steep hill to climb with the few races we got left. But theoretically possible still for those guys. But
Yep.
one can assume at this point that it's mostly just Fragley and Drag King duking it out for the drivers' championship at this point. And I think, looking at constructors, I can't say for certain, but I'm pretty sure 245 points for Ferrari versus Honda Red Bull's 129. I think Ferrari has clinched it. I think they've clinched the
I would say
constructors championship.
that's a safe bet. It would take a bunch of crazy things happening for anybody, I think, to come back. The Ferrari's been strong all year. My picks to win every single race this season. But Drag King, he's came on second race of the season and just showed absolute pace. Our provisional pole sitter right now by about 5/10, I want to say. 6? Almost 6. So
Right.
we'll roll with that. On an out lap right now with Drag King. As he gets ready to start a lap.
Oh, no. Just realized that Drag King is the only person to the 14s.
Yep.
It's definitely an impressive lap. I actually don't usually qualify too well. I actually don't even know if I could even do that right now. But I'll find that out tomorrow. But anyways, Drag King looking really hot. There's a little bit of a drift through Villeneuve.
Definitely going to ditch that
Lost a
lap
little time right there.
after that slide. Yep. He's just going to probably recharge and go again.
It decided that Tosa to bail out of that one.
Yeah, got Bandit. Easy there, Bandit. Don't be doing that.
At least he wasn't going faster there, so I think he's actually in low fuel mode, maybe.
He is out of gas.
All right, that's acceptable. That's acceptable.
Yeah.
But McRib right now looks like he's on a lap right now, flying through Villeneuve, going into Tosa. He's up on his time by 0.02 of a second. Looks to have a good run through Tosa, and he's coming up now to Piratella. Could have gone a little bit faster through there, but it's alright. It's not the biggest deal breaker for your lap. Right here is definitely where a lot of mistakes can be made through Acqua Minerale. Coming up now to Variante Alta. And probably the easiest corner on this track to invalidate, in my opinion, because you're threading the needle, the fine lines between track limits and not track limits. Coming here now through the final set of corners. Going to be coming up to the line. He's going to set a 1:16.4, and that's going to put him in 8th place.
Provisionally.
I'm going to go back up to Drag King for a second. Yep, he's on his lap right now, and he's currently up about half a tenth. Going to Acqua Minerale, throwing the car in there. Seems to use all the track that he possibly could have used. Up 2.5 tenths now. This is the second sector split. Coming on down now to Ravazza. Has a good exit. He's gonna be coming up to line. A 14.7. Dang. Got himself quite a gap right now.
Yep.
I don't know
Almost
if anyone's gonna be able to stop him
second.
tonight.
Full second. Fragley's on an out lap. Fragley's starting a lap right now. Go on board with him real quick. I've always thought this track would probably bring more overtaking potential, if they took out that chicane in the third sector and just made it a straight. Just my opinion.
Yeah, that would definitely make things interesting, like add a DRS zone there or something like that.
Yeah, I just always felt like that chicane is silly.
Yeah. And then the what is it? Actually, is there even a DRS zone there anymore? Or I'm thinking. No, there is no DRS
No,
zone anymore at that
there's
chicane.
always only been one DRS zone, and that is down the main street.
I could have swore there was one up to the for the run up to the chicane, but I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Must be.
This is an awkward chicane. There's not a whole lot of right-left chicanes in Formula One. I feel like they're all kind of left-right,
Right.
so it
And,
just makes it kind of awkward.
and I think Fragley might have actually. Yeah, he's backing out
He
of that.
just,
Huh.
he just lost a lot of time. Coming up to 6 minutes to go. Red Arrow is on a lap. He is 4 seconds down on his previous best time though. Oh, he's not on that. Maybe he's on an in lap.
Yeah, definitely on a lap. We're gonna go on board with Rob's boy. Haven't talked
Haven't
about
seen
him.
him in a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen
I
him in a
don't
while.
think, yeah, Rob's boy's got some new internet, so hopefully he's able to stay connected now. It gets a little squirrely coming through there.
Well, that internet helped him stay connected to the track, so that was good. He didn't rubber band off of
Yeah,
it.
and there we go. There we go. Coming up to the
We'll
split,
blame all
he
past
is
fortunes on the internet.
yes. He's up a tenth on his best lap though, so looking at a provisional P7, 6, P6.
Yeah, and so he doesn't need much time to propel himself up the grid, at least up to P5.
Yep. Coming across, and it will be P5.
16,002. Not a lot of guys in the 15s.
No, they're pushing it. Like I said, it is a tricky track. These guys are probably, if it is going to be a wet race, probably running a little bit of a wet setup as well. Did hear some stuff in the chat about it being a wet race. Don't know if it's the full race or just part of it.
Yeah, that's a good point because you could see like some people in qualifying maybe running dry setups and some running some wet setups. So that is a very good point to bring up.
Yep. I'm full of good points. It's my
But
job to bring
I'm on
up
board.
good points.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I'm on board with Cerezo right now, going through Aqua Minerale. Absolutely eats that car in there. Has a little bit of a fishtail coming out of there, but seemed to be all right. But he did lose a little bit of time with that car getting a little squirrely out from underneath him. Coming up now to Ravazza to finish off his lap. Presumably, he just needs a really good Sector 3, and that was a little bit of a lockup right there. That's probably going to end it. Yep, he's off track. All right, whoop. And on to the next guy. We got McRib. McRib about to come up to the Sector 2 splits. He's just down a little bit, but still room for improvements. He won't need much time. If he can squeeze a 10th out, he can at least get himself up a few spots. Kind of turned in a little early, but he's coming up to the line now. And he puts himself in P8, gaining almost 2/10. He's just a little bit behind Serrazzle. Right over though, not on the lap. 7th Flame.
B Boogie's getting
I
ready
can
to
tell.
start one. Provisional P2 guy.
We go on the board of B
Showing,
Boogie.
yep, showing some consistent speed. I'm really hoping for a good result for B Boogie. Definitely been up there all season long, but bad luck during races has ruined a lot of those good results.
Right. Definitely a lot of bad luck, but definitely shown us some pace. Definitely come a long way from the beginning of the season.
Is true.
I'd say, at least if you base it off the first like few early results. Actually, I might have to. I think going into the final race this season, I might have to like pull out some like stats or whatever and look for like most like improved driver or something like that. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of stats I could pull upon. But for now, B Boogie going through Aqua Minerale, coming up to the second sector split. Almost 2/10 up on this time, but it's still not going to quite be enough to get Drag King. He's going to need a heck of a lot of time through here in this third and final sector. There's not a lot of corners to gain a lot of time, so I think Drag King might be hanging on still for now.
Looking at Fragley, he's getting ready to start. B Boogie comes across the line, gains about 2/10, creates some more space between him and Fragley.
So it's definitely going to help him. Uh, Fragley and Sarazzle are both about to come around, and I wonder if nope, they're not gonna get toes off each other. But yeah, Fragley on a lap right now. We'll follow along with him up to the first sector split, and then I'll pan over to Sarazzle, see what his split time is.
So Razzle's not on a lap. I think he's just warming everything up. And Jag King hasn't validated his lap, so it's all about Fragley right now.
Down this time. It's not what he needs, but still plenty of track. Coming through Aqua Minerale now. Looks good.
A little bit of lockup on the entry there and ran a little wide. Yep.
Yeah, he's down.
10th down.
Still. B Bogey might be holding on to P2 at this rate.
Yep. Coming up to 20 seconds to go, so these are going to be the last laps. Everybody, Fragley runs into the gravel. Yep, and that's going to do it for him, I believe.
He gained a little bit of time. Yep. 5 thousandths, but he did gain time.
Rob's boy jumped up to P3. Missed that.
Sarazzle. Oh, shoot. Rob's boy. That new internet, though, is working wonders. You gotta wonder if that's all he got. Did he just get new internet, or did he pull out some grip packs? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's a heck of a qualifying for him right there, though. That's awesome.
Yep. That might be it, because Rob's boy's not going to be on a lap. Fragley is not going to be on a lap. C9's in the pits, and 7th Flame might be on one. I think that'll be it. After 7th Flame crosses the line.
Yeah, 7th Flame is up on his time, though, so see what he's got for us right here up in these final few corners. Looks like a decent run through Ravazza. Coming up to the line. Gonna put himself in P14. He's gonna jump a couple guys.
12. P12.
12. Yeah, he was P14. My bad.
It's all good. And that's gonna do it. Qualifying.
That's qualifying right there. So, Drag King, pole, 114.748, followed by B Boogie, Rob's Boy, Fragley, Hysteria, Bandu, Io, Sulfat, Top, Sarazzle, a shocking P9 start. McRib running out the top 10. You got Red Arrow, 7th Flame, FTG, C9 Wolf, and Sweens. That'll be your grid here for this evening. I'm going to call a Rob's Boy podium this evening. What do you think?
I think Drag King, depending on how the weather runs this race, I think P1. I think Rob's boy is going to get P2, even though I really want to see B Boogie up there. But Rob's boy is looking pretty quick tonight. I just think with B Boogie's just races, don't want to jinx him now, but I'm still going to hope for a P3 for him.
Right, and I think my predictions for the top 3. This is just off the cuff. I want to see everybody succeed, but I definitely think it'll be Drag King, Fragley, and then Rob's boy.
All right.
Hate to drop B Boogie down 2 spots or whatever, but that's just like a random pick. Don't really mean nothing. But it does look like we got rain here.
Yep, it is gonna be rained. I want to throw in the chat. I want to ask the drivers, is it rain the whole race? And while that's going on, I'm going to pull up our favorite song.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize the flute.
Come on, man.
Oh, I was looking at chat for a second, and my ears finally made a connection. Glad you're keeping the tradition up.
Yep, as always, AM2 flutes.
Anyone wearing earbuds is probably just like, make it stop, make it stop. Well, tough crap. This is an AM2 tradition. One that was forgotten, but is revived. Potty says, what the, WTF is that? Well, once upon a time, we used to have formation lap, and while the commentators at the time were running through the grid order for the evening during the formation lap, this was playing in the background.
No ads.
Back when we used to have Kitten Petter and Andy Wu.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, those two being commentators. He's Potty says, I'm glad we evolved. No! This is de-evolution. Me and DK should not be here right now. The
He said we
goats.
shouldn't be
The
here
goat.
right now.
No, I'm saying we shouldn't be here because the goats are gone.
Oh, true. True.
But I am still happy to be here, though. This has been fun. All right, I think we should be starting momentarily. I think we're about out of our 2-minute timer.
Well, the drivers are in the chat saying they can't put wet tires on the car. So I don't know if that's a glitch or maybe it's raining, but the track ain't wet enough.
No, I think this could be interweather.
It could be, but the drivers are saying in the chat that they cannot put wet tires on the car.
I mean, I probably wouldn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree.
I
I agree.
I forget, was it last week's race? No, there was one race. I think it was Mexico for AM1. We all started half the grid started on like wets, the other half started on inters, but it was projected to be like wet start. But the guys that started on inters against the game's advice ended up just like blowing away everybody.
Hmm.
So I think the wet tires are terrible in this game. Like,
I mean, I think
they're
wet weather
atrocious.
racing in this game is atrocious in general. I hate it. So next week is not going to be fun. And speaking of next week, I think it's a mandatory wet race, another wild card. It's going to be guaranteed to
Oh
be
yeah.
full wet, like full blown wet the entire race.
We're apparently there's talks about a lobby glitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The
Hmm.
them not letting or the game not letting them start on wet tires. Oh, McRib says he's starting, so I guess we're gonna find out. Alrighty. I agree with that, Kim.
All
Here we
right, well,
go.
here we are. Here we are. We got 5 red lights. And we are off at the Emilio Romagna Grand Prix.
Everybody is crawling.
Jack King looks like he got a pretty decent start. We got B Boogie though on the outside. Is B Boogie going to send it into turn 1? He is, and the B Boogie's going to overtake Drag King into turn 2. And we got a little bit of carnage in the back, a little bit of carbon fiber flying off the cars.
Rob's boy got through Drag King as well.
And we got guys on. Oh, they're on slicks.
Yeah, like I said, nobody was able to start on the wet tire.
Oh, I was thinking like the wet tire, not like including intermediates.
No, they said they couldn't start on any wet tire. But virtual safety car, lap 1.
The weather, it actually might not be that bad for slicks, to be honest. So I actually starting to kind of agree with this. If it's gonna dry up,
they're sliding around. I don't know. Nobody gave me the weather forecast, but they're sliding around. I can tell. Oh, what happened to Ross boy? He was in P2. Okay.
Turn 1 shenanigans.
Turn 1 shenanigans.
But I want to go back to the tire graphic, though, see what kind of split we got here. Most of the guys are on medium tires, soul flat top, opting, and Sweens opting for the hard tire. Hysteria, FTG, and 7th Flame all opting for softs. We got a lot of guys diving into the pits now.
Yep, I believe this is going to be enters.
I'm curious to see if they end up just, like, throwing the race, though.
No, going with some onboards and these guys at the start. It's definitely interweather.
If it's gonna dry up, I think the guys in the slicks will have the advantage then.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it. Like looking at what I'm looking at, the track's getting wetter.
Yeah, but like they have the information of like the weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't disagree with what you're saying though about at least how it looks right now. Definitely tiptoeing around a little bit, but Fragley seems to be doing pretty solid. He kind of threw the car in the Aqua Minerale pretty good for being on slick, so I'll give him that. They're definitely getting the cars slowed down. But yeah, after that though, we got V Boogie, Drag King, Red Arrow, and Soul Flat Top all opting for intermediate tires, and Soul Flat Top got that 10-second speeding penalty. We'll note that in there. Now, if I'm not mistaken,
the guys on enters do look a little more stable.
Well, I would expect to be more stable with the rain out there, but something I'm curious about isn't it like the harder tires supposed to be better in wet conditions?
No, normally you would want a softer tire. Normally. Yeah.
Ooh, and Srazzle gets a really good run on Hysteria. Is he going to send it into Villeneuve? No, he is not. He's going to think better for now. In these conditions, probably going to want to be alongside somebody before you send a move. This definitely ain't dive bomb weather, that's for sure.
Definitely not dive bomb weather. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the chat to see if these guys are complaining about this race, but this is definitely not a glitch lobby. I think it was a thing in the game where the track's not wet enough to let you start on the wet tire. Or on the intermediate tire.
If that's a thing, then dang.
Yep.
It's the first time I'm hearing of that, so that'd be interesting.
It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't a thing in this game, honestly.
But Fragley at the moment still having the commanding 2-second lead. Fragley setting a fast lap of 24.4. He's got the fastest lap on slicks. The guys on intermediates are not gaining time.
Yep. And Rob's boy goes right around Srazzle and thinks about going around Hysteria too. I just want to point out, Codemasters, if you're listening, fix your safety car, or not safety car situation, but your formation lap situation. Let us have the formation lap, and then let people pit during the formation lap if they want to. That's kind of what it's for.
Oh, Drag King actually does take fastest lap now.
Yep.
Hmm. I can't remember the difference, but I think was pretty relative. I think it's kind of like that transition phase where like both tires are kind of able to compete with each other.
Yep. 100%. It's definitely a personal preference right now, really. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say, as the tier rep, no matter what anybody says, no glitch lobby. If they want to complain, just in case, getting ahead of the game.
You're already planning for a possibility of a ride.
Yep. Yep.
We're gonna shut it down like the CCP and Tiananmen Square. We're rolling the
Yep.
tanks. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Razzle gets by Rob's boy on the straight. DRS is active too, so that kind of tells me that, it's not wet enough.
Right. That's a good point.
So, yep, shutting it down.
Yep. Everybody that went on enters blunder, complete throw. Unless it was supposed to get wet, like more wet than this. Because the rain stopped now, right?
No, it's
no,
still
it's still
raining.
trickling. Okay, yeah, the helicopter view I had wasn't showing rain for a moment.
Yep. Well, also, we do use the approximate weather forecast. It is not 100% accurate.
Yeah, good point, good point. DK with the good points this evening.
Yep, it's my job. So Razzle is closing up on Hysteria for P2. He's going to have the DRS. Ooh, slides it in to the penultimate corner. But he's going to have a great run on Hysteria. Hysteria's going to pit. He did start on softs. It's going to be interesting to see what tire Hysteria goes to, though. Is it going to be the inters? I just would not want to be on the hard tire. But it's going to be intermediates. Intermediates for Hysteria.
Interesting.
Yep. Drag King pumps in
even faster lap. Well, I guess these guys actually are kind of making a little bit of ground, I suppose. I don't know. It's kind of hard to judge right now. You only look at the interval to the leader. So Drag King is about 22 seconds off. I mean, that's about a pit stop. So I guess in a couple laps time I'll come back to this, and if it's still around 22.7 seconds, then things are kind of staying static. But IEO at the moment on the back of Rob's boy, a 3-second penalty. But IEO on the back of Bandu right now. So Bandu's gonna be able to hold off for now. Pretty tough place to overtake at the moment where they're at. Coming on down now to Ravazza. Is DRS still active? DRS is still active, so IO with DRS here on Bandut. Gaining, pulling alongside, going into turn 1, going to Tamburello, and he's going to have the move done. FTG pitting off going into the pits to pit off these soft tires. 7th Flame, 3-second penalty.
A lot of people getting penalties right now. Yep. Already have a lot of guys with penalties right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers with 3 seconds already, including Rob's boy up there in P3.
There's only one battle on track that's within a second of each other, and that's Ayo and Bandu. Everyone else is just on their own. Oh, actually, FTG has just got caught up to his teammate. We'll take a peek at that for a second. The two Williams drivers. Oh, wait, Bandit and Io traded spots. Bandit, I don't know what happened there, but I guess he got a good run out of Aqua Minerale. He was able to overtake Io.
Yep. I think we're having just had a better run.
Of
I
course, the moment
struggled
I
to get on
skip
the
away.
power.
That's like Call of Duty timing right there. You watch a battle, you flip away, and then boom, everything goes down the moment your camera's not looking at it.
Io's coming back though. Got the DRS, burning a lot of ERS, but I don't think he's going to get to Bandit in time for turn one. Does not. But
Yeah,
the
everything's
Ferrari boys doing what they did kind of last week. 1-2, running away from the field.
I guess now's a good time to go back and look at the interval to the leader, and Drag King has closed up about a second from the last time I brought this up. So, inners are gaining, unless it's just Drag King being Drag King, which is also a possibility.
Yep.
But at the moment, I think Fragley, Srazzle, I think honestly the guys on the slicks, I think they're doing just fine right now.
Yep. I will agree.
Be curious what the weather is like near the end of the race and whether they go to another set of slicks or intermediate tires.
It is going to be very interesting because it's just kind of like I said. I think like in wet weather like this, you want a softer tire because it'd be easier to keep it warm. Just kind of. Oh, Sarazo's going to spin it out of turn two into the gravel.
On Tamburello. Yeah. Oh, cars coming through. Oh, thank God he did not.
Yeah, thank God he is ghosted.
That could have been a
Ayrton
plane crash
Senna
right there. Yeah, we would have.
Watching out over us.
Oh gosh, we about had another tragic evening. Right in Tamburello too, of all places, that would have been.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Just want to point out real quick, McRib. No, we're only 10 laps into the race, but McRib up there in P6, having a good showing the first half of this race.
He's definitely sitting in a pretty good little spot right now. Yeah, for sure. I think actually because a lot of those guys pitting lap 1 for intermediate tires, you might actually see a lot of these guys all pit around the same time, unless the guys in the intermediate tires think they can extend this for the whole race. But I don't think that'll be a race-winning strategy at this point, to be honest with you. I don't think they are going to have to pit, more than likely.
I don't think so either, but Drag King has lowered that gap down about another second.
Io and Bandit. Io finally got by Bandit again. Oh, a little bit of tussling between the two. They made it safely through Villeneuve now. Going into Tosa, Bandit's going to just send it on Io. Io got caught napping there. But Bandit's going to retake that position. And Sarazzle between the two of them fighting. Back within DRS range. If I had to guess, though, we could probably expect to see some guys pitting here in the next within 5 laps, I'd say.
No more than that. 100%. I say we're going to see guys pitting around lap 15, 16. I think it's about roughly when the pit window opens for those mediums. I would say the guys on enters have to pit again as well, but it's gonna be curious if like, do they go back to the dry tires
Right, because if they
if this
do,
rain stays like this?
they'd
But
probably want to go hards.
yeah,
But the intermediate tire does seem to have some good pace right now still, so you could almost kind of just run that tire, I guess, for your second stint, just because this is kind of, oh, IO gets a little squirrely. It's going to allow Cerazlo to get on by on the exit of Tosa, I think is what it's called. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I think the intermediate tire right now is competing with these slick tires. I think this whole race, there's been no clear, like, definite tire to be on from what it looks like. So you can't really go wrong, I suppose. Bandu's going to get ahead of Rob's Boy. I can only assume that was a little bit of team orders because I think Rob's Boy kind of let up.
yeah. Rob's boy did pick up another penalty, so he's got 6 seconds. Serrazzo picked up a penalty right behind him as well. Didn't even look like Serrazzo cut the corner, but this game on this track, it gives you penalties super easy. Serrazzo's going to come into the pits.
Probably a smart idea because Rob's Boy was definitely going to be trying to, cover his teammate.
Yeah, so there's Serrazzo into the pits. It's going to be hard tires for Serrazzo.
Interesting.
You have IO pit. He puts on the enters. Who else is in the pits?
Interesting. B Boogie in, enters. McRib enters. Drag King up in the P4 now. You have to make he's gonna have to make another stop presumably, so this is only provisionally for now. Hysteria P5. Hysteria started on softs, if I remember correctly, and pit after a few laps. But Rob's Boy, Bandu, Fragley, they're gonna have to come in really soon. I would imagine Fragley comes in now. Bandu probably comes in first of the McLarens. Looks like it's getting a little bit more wet out there right now.
It kind of does. I do want to know if the guys that started on the dries pit the enters and then don't pit again, and the race never gets and if the race never gets confirmed as a wet race, is it going to penalize you for not using 2 dry compounds?
Well, they made their pit stops. I don't think I think as long as you just pick a different compound.
It's something to think about. It is Codemasters, but it does look like it's getting a little more wet out there than it was, than it has been. But yeah, Fragley did go on the enters. Hysteria is still out up in P2.
Most importantly, good.
I was just saying, everybody that's like pitting from the mediums has gone to the enters except Serrazzo. He did go to the hards.
And Drag King is just at pit as well, and he's back in P7. Still got a little bit of a ways to climb, but Fragley at the moment, behind Hysteria, which I think Hysteria is. I think he actually might be trying to extend this to the end. I think that's the play for him at this point. I think guys like Serrazzo are in Red Arrow on the hard tires. A little bit of a mistake, honestly, because the track does look like it's getting a little bit wetter. I don't think Serrazzo's really gaining much. I mean, he's not really losing anything too crazy right now, but he's definitely not helping himself being on those tires, I think.
Yeah, especially being the hard tires, because where the track's wet, those hard tires are not going to heat up as good as they would if it was dry. Yeah, I mean, he's lost a lot of time. He went from 15 seconds to 20 seconds back now off of Rob's Boy.
Yeah, it must have been a mistake somewhere.
Yep.
But do we still have DRS? We do have DRS still, but it definitely isn't dry enough for those tires. But he's locked into his decision now. He's got to stick it out at this point. Maybe it gets a little bit better. Well, now he's just gained his 5 seconds back, so I don't know. Maybe a game bug? Pit
Maybe.
stops.
Maybe. Oh, Rob's boy, be careful. Just randomly on board with him. Just ran straight through the gravel. Come out of Tumbarello.
Oh
Now
boy,
he's
he's been
wide again, and
struggling.
now,
He's
yeah,
struggling
now
through these corners.
everybody's coming by. Yep. Rob's boy did just come out of the pits right there, so. But working lap 14, Hysteria, race leader right now.
Let's take a quick look at penalties real quick. We got Bandu with 10 seconds. I did not see that.
Yeah, that's got to be a speeding. Srazzle 3, McRib 3, Rob's boy 6, Red Arrow 6, Swings and Summit Flame with 3 seconds. Srazzle is in the pits, and I can only imagine that this is going to be intermediate tires, and it is.
Dang, yeah, that's gonna be brutal though. It'd be really banking for a safety car now. But except for the guys, like they got penalties. They probably kind of want this to sort of stay green at this point. I
Yep.
would imagine. So a lot of guys with penalties.
Yep.
The top two are that far ahead because they have only done one pit stop, and a lot of guys have done 2 pit stops. So we'll take a look at stops real quick
Yep.
for you
I
to help
wonder.
understand that. A lot of the guys lap 1 ended up pitting because everyone started on dry tires, and we had about 5 drivers pit for intermediate tires right off rip.
Yep. DRS is disabled now, and Hysteria is going to pit from the lead.
Interesting. I guess those intermediate tires are not going to be lasting.
Yep, it looks like it's going to be another set of intermediate tires.
But he does have some time to play with those, so I don't think he'll actually lose out that much.
No,
But he definitely did give up the lead. Oh, he actually might get beaten out by like this group of cars coming up.
Yep, he's going to get beat by all of them. And who is that? Bandut? Yep, Bandut going around the outside of IO for P2. Oh, P3. Nope, P2. Yep, P2. You got Drag King right here in this group from P2 to P4. So he's still on track. Did pit on lap 1 though for those intermediate tires. And he has taken his longer than Hysteria because Hysteria did go about 4 or 5 laps on the softs before he pitted the inners and pitted again.
Ooh, and Drag King gonna be getting by IO here.
Yep, good run there out of what is that corner?
Aqua Minerale.
Aqua Minerale. Minerale. Water minerals. Gotcha.
That could be a false cognate. That might not actually mean minerals.
I mean, aqua, water, mineral, and aqua minerals. I don't know.
Any Italian experts out there, let us know.
Yep, this Drag King's going to go around Bandut for P2 down the main straight. Bandut thought about maybe fighting it back a little bit, but thought better of it. As Drag King back up into P2, Bandut got a good run there out of Tumbarello, but had to back off of it.
I say Drag King's got a long way to his main championship rivals, but so he's gonna have to hope Fraglet makes a mistake or pits or something, or a safety car, because I don't think you're getting 20 seconds at this point.
I mean, Drag King is on the older tire as well too by about 10 laps, I believe.
Oh, they're on lap. They both pit the same lap.
I didn't even know Drag King pit again. Well, there goes that. Hysteria picks up 3 seconds.
Yeah, because at one point he did get up to like P4 and then drop back down to P7 when he pit again.
Mm.
Looks like we got a little bit of battling in the back. We had Red Arrow and C9 Wolf trading spots a little bit. C9 Wolf looks to have gotten by Red Arrow. Red Arrow on the hard tires. But another 3-second penalty for Srazzle, and I think there was one for somebody else too.
Yep, that was Red Arrow. Everybody's kind of spread out a little bit. We got B Boogie and Rosboy going at it through turn one.
Looks to be yellow flag. Looks to be 7th Flame. Let's see what's on. He's got himself back going again, but he's about to be getting lapped. Looks like he has wing damage. He does have wing damage. He has no end
He does have
plates
wing
at all.
damage. He is a lap down too. He's not about to get lapped. He is a lap down. Yep.
Let's see if things get navigated cleanly with the lap traffic. Actually, he might be ghosted for lap traffic, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works on the scale.
Yep. With a little.
And there he goes into the pit lane. Presumably to retire the car.
No, it sounds like not really retire that much. Yep.
And Io, though, going to be going around the outside of Bandu, and he almost had a good chance for it, but he's going to look for it back up in the run to Villeneuve, and Bandu gets a little squirrely. Going side by side now in the Villeneuve. Io's going to take that position.
Yep, I think the race is for 3rd place now. You got Drag King.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
As things stand now, it definitely seems to be that way.
Yep, and as it stands right now, too, Io's got it provisionally because he does not have any penalties from Bandit and Hysteria behind him. B Boogie doesn't have any penalties either, so those two guys looking for some great results tonight with 12 laps to go.
Yeah, B Boogie just needs to keep it clean. He actually might be able to benefit off these cars ahead of him battling. He probably might potentially at the end of the race see him up there in this battle if things stay the way they are now with Bandu looking to overtake.
Yep, are they gonna go side by side through turn one? This is gonna be scary because you gotta slow so far down.
Oh,
it was Io almost spins it, and that's gonna let Hysteria through.
Honestly, if you are Bandu though, and you're trying to get as many positions as you can, you kind of do want to force your opponent into a mistake. As much as people will be like, "Why are you battling me? You got 3 seconds." Well, you might mess up. You might mess up, and I might run away with it. I'm not going to hit you off the track. I'm not going to take you out, but you might mess up in me trying to pass you.
Yep, can agree. It is tactical. If you leave the space, it is A-okay in my mind. The other guy makes a mistake. That's on him.
Oh, Bandu got a little bit into Hysteria. He was could have veered into him on the middle of the straightaway, but all right. And Io's going to be coming right back at Bandu potentially into this corner. Dravazza. Oh, Bandu goes a little wide.
And lets Io through. So puts Io in P4, provisional P3.
B Boogie's on the back of the squabble now. Bandu going into the pits.
Yep. Oh, Bandu's going to stop. Like, stop at the pit entry line. That was weird.
Probably just didn't want to speed.
I mean, I guess.
Okay, I guess.
And he's going to serve that 10-second penalty, too. So,
dang. Well, that opens up the door for IO now.
Yep,
Happy
and B
Boogie to
Boogie.
fight.
Yep.
Excuse my
As it
yawning.
stands right now, that is for the P3 position, but Hysteria is about half a second away from breaking that gap open to over 3 seconds. Only 5 drivers without penalties so far.
Dang.
Well, technically 4. I'm not counting Bendu. He doesn't have any penalties now, but he had
He
one.
did. Yeah.
So
I definitely wouldn't have predicted this many drivers getting penalties.
I think I would have because they were before the race. They were kind of complaining about it. And the track is Drag King. Drag King is into the pits.
I don't think it's that hard to keep it on track. I mean, it can be tricky, I guess, for like the chicane or whatever at the end near the end of the lap. But I mean, other than
I
that,
mean, maybe, but maybe these tires are just
oh,
getting ate up somehow.
the Williams of I think I can't tell who that was, but one of the Williams is in front of Io, about ate it out of Tamburello. Insane. Rob's boy into the pits now.
So I would say Fragley probably will pit again. He's got the gap to Hysteria. He's got. I mean, I don't know if he has to. He's coming up to 10 laps on these tires. Coming
Yeah,
up to 9 laps to go in the race.
I think he
Oh,
might
there's
just
a
be sitting
yellow.
fine. Especially if at the
Which
very
way?
end, he might just be able to just kind of like coast around and stuff. Not even have to really push the tires. I don't know which tire is taking the biggest beating though. I mean, I guess if you're spinning the rears a bunch, I mean that, but I can't remember if it's like the right or left sides.
It's normally whichever direction you turn the most, it's the opposite. It
So a
takes
lot,
that
probably right
beating.
hand tires, a lot of left hand corners.
Yep.
And the Europeans make fun about us turning left.
Yeah.
I see a lot of left
Look,
turns.
in the grand scheme of things, every type of motorsport is driving in a circle. It's
Oh
just an
yeah.
oddly misshapen circle. In Formula One.
And some tracks like Suzuka, you're driving around a figure eight.
Yep. We don't do that in America, but that's not European either, so it's Asian.
The Asians like to spice things up.
Yep.
They'll take an existing concept and be like, "We're doing this."
Yep. I'm surprised they don't have a track that like crosses over itself twice somehow.
Well, I think the Saudis are trying to build some crazy track that's like elevated.
Yeah, like the turn 1 is like on a like bridge type thing that's
Yeah,
like elevated above a building, something like that.
they're asking for a car to fly over it.
Well, in the renders, the runoff area is pretty long, so
Oh, and IO dipping into the pits off 11 lap old intermediates. So, guess he might know something we don't about these tires.
yeah, I would say these tires aren't
That's
lasting that
crazy.
long, and I wonder if it just goes to like that. There's just not a whole lot of rain out there. Really,
Yeah, that's probably it.
is the fact that these tires could be getting ate up.
That's crazy though. I was not expecting that.
Nope.
I would have thought these could have at least gone about 18, 20.
Yep. So that puts B Boogie up in the P3. The man, the myth, the legend, B Boogie.
That means if Fragley pits now, he'll come out in second, but then presumably
McRib and Drag King just got into it a little bit. I don't know if that was contact or McRib just lost it going down the straight. that he went into the wall and now has no left side of his front wing.
Dang. Did not catch that. Did not catch that live. But poor McRib. We have literally no battles on track now. It literally doesn't even matter who I follow along now. So I'm just gonna follow along with Fragley for now.
Man, all battles lonesome, all race.
This is for such a fun track to drive. Probably the most anticlimactic race.
Ohio's left this session. Let me get him back in here.
Dang. Poor Ohio. McRib into the pit. Gonna fix that front wing, presumably. Actually, now we got time to just pan the whoever. Let's see if he actually fixed it. He did fix it. You know the game don't like to fix it.
I don't trust the auto stuff. I'm like, if I got wing damage, I don't care how minute it is. You need to fix it.
Bagley's in. Hysteria. If Hysteria doesn't pit now, he'll Fragley will come out about 3 or 4 seconds behind.
Yep, I think Hysteria is going into the pits. So does that mean B Boogie pits? If B Boogie pits though, Drag King is going to inherit P3 because he does not have to pit. I don't think anymore.
Yeah, he could probably make whatever he's got right now work, and B Boogie's in.
And B Boogie is in. So that puts Drag King P3, and everybody should be good on pit stop. Actually, Drag King jumps Hysteria too. Did Hysteria have to change a wing?
Maybe serve a penalty.
Or no, Hysteria's only had the 3 seconds.
Should have been fine. Can you do me a solid and no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it was probably just a wing or something. I guess then, but dang, didn't even notice that.
Yep.
If that's the case. Because that's 8 seconds behind now. That's crazy. That's not at all what I was anticipating.
So it puts the 2 championship rivals, P1 and P2. Does Drag King have enough time to close this gap? Maybe not, but who knows?
Definitely not older intermediates.
Yep.
Unless Fragley bends it. Hopefully he doesn't. But if he bends it, that's Drag King's first only chance at this point. Do want to note that this has been a safety carless race, except for the virtual after turn 1, turn 2.
Yep. Which is kind of surprising with this weird weather. I don't think I've ever seen weather like this in the game, where it's like it's raining at the start of the race, but it's like, nope, dry tires are the best, and then you got guys pitting onto the inners on lap 1. Maybe not the best decision, but Drag King's kind of made it work. He is P2. Did qualify on pole though. So
That definitely been a oddity just in terms of tire strategy for this race. Being in the commentators booth, whatever, we just have no idea what's going on.
yeah.
B Boogie though, getting really close to the back of Rob's Boy. Pretty much our only battle on track at the moment, with the exception of Serazzle on mediums. Huh. I don't think it really matters for him at this point, I guess, but yeah.
No.
Ooh, Rouseboy gets a little squirrely into Aqua Minerale. Fragley sets the fastest lap of 122.6. And B-Bogey and Rouseboy going side by side into the chicane. Rouseboy cuts corner.
Picks up another penalty. That's 12 seconds for Rouseboy. As they're still side by side. Heading down in, or what was that, Ravazza? Is that what you said it was?
Yeah, Ravazza.
Ravazza.
Ravazza, or
Bippity boopity mamma mia.
bippity boopity Ravazza mia.
Hopefully there's no Italians watching us. We're sorry.
But ma, you're breaking your mother's heart.
B Boogie's coming back up on the Ross boy. Oh, his Drag King picks up a 3-second time penalty, and B Boogie is gonna get Ross boy. I can't help but laugh. You're breaking your mother's heart.
As B Boogie breaks Rob's boy's mother's heart. I just got nothing but like Family Guy Italian like I almost swore. Family Guy Italian like stereotype like memes in my head.
Oh man. We gotta spice things up a little bit on stream sometimes in a race where there is not really a whole lot of track action. So Razzle picks up another 3 seconds. That brings his total to 12.
Oh, there's this one. What is it or whatever? It has something to do with like cutting Italians in a line, and this guy they're like, hey, Copernicus, why don't you move yourself or hey, Copernicus, why don't you navigate yourself to the back of the line and stand there with your feet in your shirt?
What? Oh no.
Dude, like, yeah, you gotta look that up. It's good. Stand there with your feet in your shirt.
For some reason, right now, all I can think about too is the movie Wolf on Wall Street and how everybody kind of has an Italian accent in that movie.
Oh yeah.
I ain't going nowhere.
I ain't leaving. Dude, we only have
We
3
can't.
drivers without penalties right now. That's
Yep.
crazy.
And one of them is Fragley. Let's check. I'm gonna do a check real quick. Actually, you know what? It's gonna take me forever to scroll through that.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I really don't want to.
That's a CVS
Oh,
receipt right there of penalties.
yep.
Like, goodness gracious, let's take a look at this. Let's add these all up. So we got 6. Math escaping me. 18, 21, 32, 35, 38, 50, 66. Order 66. 69, 75.
Nice.
75 seconds. Goodness gracious. Minus the speeding penalties we had earlier that got served.
Yeah, we probably had well over 100 seconds worth of penalties dished out this race.
Goodness gracious.
But come to AM2, where you get to watch some racing, and then whenever the racing gets spread out, you get some entertainment. You get some comedic entertainment.
So the racing isn't even usually this spread out though. I was not anticipating like just seeing the field the spread. I mean, it didn't really help with the weird like weather and tire decisions everyone had going on at the beginning, but still, I still expected a little bit more than what we got.
Yeah, I did too. But sometimes that's Formula One.
It could be noted at the end of this race to see what lap Io got DC'd because he's still not back.
It was about lap 26 or 7.
Yeah, what the? If someone cares enough, I guess I'm not going to worry about it. But I guess if someone does care enough, they can report that.
Yep. I mean, realistically, he probably would have stayed relatively where he's at anyway because he
Hmm.
didn't have any penalties. Who knows how many warnings he had, but
Right. But Iobot is driving pretty well right now, keeping Boogie behind him.
yeah, B Boogie's closed that down a lot
Oh yeah,
though.
for
Yeah,
sure. It's final
yeah,
lap
B
here though. B
Boogie.
Boogie's really got us. The biggest battle on track right now is B Boogie versus an AI driver.
Yep. There we go, B Boogie. Get her
Beat
done.
Casper. Oh yeah, push Casper wide. Running up to the line
And B
now.
Boogie
Oh,
up in the P4.
oh wait, that's not even it. Because Fragley's, you know,
Yeah, no.
he started the final lap a long time ago.
Yeah, but I just gotta get some excitement in there. Gotta get
Yeah.
excited for B Boogie.
Oh, Io passed B Boogie.
Oh no! Oh, they're side by side. Well, inside of each other, I should say.
Oh,
Oh man. But Fragley going through the final chicane, heading down to the final two corners.
two for the final time. I can say this tonight. Ravazza.
Yep, Rabazza Mamma Mia, pizzeria. Oh, Sarrazzle's retired in the pits.
Okay, I thought I was on track. I was about to pan over to that, but Fragley having all the time in the world to swerve, getting swiggity swoogity on his way to a win here at Imola.
Back-to-back wins for him. Two very dominating performances back-to-back.
Anyways, gonna go. We are gonna have Drag King finishing P2, Hysteria P3, but back to the AI versus Boogie battle. Boogie is
B-Boogie!
Hey, Boogie. Yeah, he's definitely coming on top of the AI. Thank God.
Yep.
Thank God. AO or IOBot gonna finish P5 provisionally. Then we got Rob's boy.
Who's gonna drop
Yeah,
a
he's gonna
lot.
he's gonna well he's gonna drop one spot. I think
At least,
maybe two.
yeah.
Yeah, Banduke gonna be P6 followed by Rob's boy. We got Red Arrow who's gonna drop a spot. Yeah,
He's
we got
gonna
Big Red
drop.
P8,
Yep.
Red Arrow P9, C9 Wolf P10, and then I didn't get the rest of the order, but you guys have eyeballs, so we'll run through it again in a second. Drag King driver of the day. I actually would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Even though he started on pole, he came back from quite a deficit by pitting at the start, and then found himself in P2, and honestly was gaining quite a bit of time on Fragley at some points. But anyways, we're gonna run through this real quick. We got Fragley, your winner here this evening, P1, followed by Drag King, Hysteria, B Boogie, Io, Bandu, Rob's Boy, McRib, Red Arrow, C9 Wolf getting a point this week. Heck yeah. We got outside the top 10, we got FTG, Seventh Flame, Sweens, Sarrazzle, Soulflat Top running out the grid here this evening. Dang. All right, well, we still managed to have fun with it though. Might not have been the most hair-raising race of the season. Definitely not by a mile. We've had some insane races here this season, but still happy to be here to watch this evening. Um, got any thoughts before I get right in?
Um, Dominating race by Fragley, as always. Always up there all season long. But yeah, kind of agree. The race was it was a good race, good clean race, but it was just awkward. But nevertheless, good action still by the AM2 boys.
Yes, sir. But we are just waiting on Fragment now. We got him in here now. So, might as well cut to the chase here. Fragley started P3, I think, P3, P4. And, yeah, P4. Had a pretty good start, and especially with having some of the guys in front of you dip into the pits right off rip. But you ended up coming out on top and with a pretty dominant lead at the very end. Were you nervous at all with the guys pitting up one?
I was pretty nervous them going to inters like right away because the track just didn't feel like it. Like it was slick, but it wasn't enough to not have a soft or a medium. So I felt like I could run that out, and I did that for my first little stint. Obviously, that was the right call because about after that, the inters were definitely faster. But in the beginning, I really think it was like a 50 of whichever tire you wanted to run.
Right. Um, what was the Ferrari team chat like tonight? As far as anything notable?
Not too much, just wrong pit strategy for Serrazzle. Went to hards, and I think if he would have just stayed on his intermediate and done that strategy, he wouldn't have lost as much time as he did.
Right.
So I think he made a little bit of a embarrassment call right there, and that was kind of on us, but fortunate.
Was there at any point in the second half of the race where you thought that Drag King might catch up somehow?
I did. Once I came back onto my fresh inters for like the last little stint from like lap 24, I swear he was 40 seconds behind me, and then I looked up and he was like 10 after the pit stop. So I was a little worried, but I kind of saw lap by lap like there just wasn't much gain. So I just figured just stay on track limits and just finish the race.
Right, and you were one of three drivers tonight that were penalty-less.
That was tough.
Quite literally, every other driver, for the most part, had penalties.
I was looking up in the stream and saw the grid just full of penalties, so I just knew just to keep it into track limits. Doesn't have to push too much because I was like 20 seconds ahead at one point, so I just felt like I was keeping track and moving quick with the wet.
Right, and then the only other question I got for you, what was it? What was the tire wear like when you were pitting off the inters near the end?
On my second stint for those inters, I was pitting off, and my backs were about at like 60%,
Hmm.
and I definitely felt like it was slipping wide at that point, taking those corners, because once I took onto those new inters, it was way keeping on track. So definitely a little tough when I was hitting that 60.
All right. I say because I was confused that like people are just pitting so soon, but that makes sense. But DK, any thoughts for our race winner?
Uh, as always, not really. Congrats on back-to-back wins. I know last week was pretty dominating from you and Fragley, or you and Serrazzle too. But yeah, congrats. Extending the championship lead as well.
I'm excited about that.
So you got fast lap two, so that's another point your way. And then was it next week we got Spa guaranteed wet?
Yep.
How that goes.
Excited? Not excited? Indifferent?
Not too excited for Spa all wet tire race.
Well, it's just I think it's just guaranteed to be wet at some point. I think that's what we're doing. I, whether if it actually sticks around like the whole time, I'm not too sure exactly how it's running. We'll end up posting obviously some like lobby settings into this week, but don't think it's going to be entirely wet because it might not be. I think that's on the table. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, good stuff, man. That was a good little drive from you. And anyone else have any thoughts? Alrighty. Well, if that's the case, this has been Conscious Speed AM2 here at Imola, and you all have a great evening.